What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the Samuraii Sports Network, and today we're going to be talking about why the big media networks have a bias against the Miami Dolphins. And this is something that might not come to a surprise to a lot of you, because if you look at anything, and look, our team's not the greatest right now in the eyes of the media, and in most fans as well. But if you look at any media outlets, ESPN, Fox, NFL Network, it doesn't matter. And it's not just the Dolphins. It's the Dolphins, it's the Heat, it's the Marlins, it's the Panthers, it's the Hurricanes. The media outlets don't like Miami. And it started from a while back. Now, even after I guess like some background, even after the Marlins won the championship in 2003, it was still baseball's never going to work in Miami. And you know what? That one, they're right about. Baseball right now in Miami, it doesn't work because a lot of people in Miami, one, they're pissed at that stadium because a lot of people had to move out of their homes and it's sitting there and it's costing taxpayers money that is there to sit for us to have a losing team, and it's not enjoyable, not fun to watch. A lot of people don't like Marlins baseball, where it's not, the worst thing in the world. It's not as bad as it was last year. Yeah, you had Stanton and his home runs, but this Marlins team, in my opinion, is a bunch of young talent that's a little bit more adapt to wanting to succeed rather than the other one. But regardless of that, the Panthers, they, had a little bit of a push. Hockey is not that big in Miami, but they had a big of a push to go to the playoffs. It failed, and it was just basically still, even if they got to the playoffs, hockey's not going to succeed in Miami. Then you have the Hurricanes, where the Hurricanes were doing really good last year, and every single time they won a game, you could go on Colin Cowherd's The Herd last year during that run where the Hurricanes were beating teams down, and they were winning big games, and people were saying, well, that's the only big game they're going to win. That's the only big game they're going to win. That was their best game. They're not going to come back next week and then play another one, and then they come back next week and they're like, well, that's their best week. They're not going to play another game like that. And it seemed like they kept proving people wrong. And I'm one that's not a Hurricanes fan. I'm a Florida Gators fan. But for the fact of knowing this, you have people who don't like Miami sports. When it comes to the Miami Heat, a lot of people like to point out, and you heard Ersan Ilyasova's stupid ass say it, primarily, that the Heat fans show up late, which is true. Miami fans show up late. I'm not going to sit here and defend them. Marlins, I went to a Marlins game with my job on Sunday, and it was Mother's Day. It was great. It was a lot of fun. Some of the moms came with their kids. It was great. They put us in a suite. Nice. It was the 5th inning, and fans were still showing up. It made no sense, right? The 5th inning. It was like 2:30 at that point. But yeah, fans show up late. They do. But then he said, that it felt like there was no playoff atmosphere. Look, a lot of Heat fans really liked this Heat team because a lot of them don't like Whiteside. They don't think Dragic is as much of an all-star as he was this year or anything in general like that. They only defend to a certain point with some of these players. But when it comes to basketball and football in Miami, those are some of the best goddamn fans you will ever get. Heat fans will start chants. They will get loud. They will show up on time, like 90% of the time. They will be in their seats. When it comes to a playoff atmosphere, they will be there. Yes, there was a stretch after that championship run with Shaq and Wade where there were not a lot of fans showing up until the arrival of LeBron James and Chris Bosh. But even at that point, they were still loud. Was there not a lot of people sitting in the seats? No, there weren't. But they were loud fans, and they made regular season games and still make regular season games feel like playoff atmosphere games. That's one thing for me. Heat fans go to the nth degree, and it's always been that way for Heat fans. Do not a lot of them show up sometimes? Yeah, well, those are the guys that don't like to watch the basketball if they're not winning. Those are the fans that don't care if they're not winning. Because there are fans that see them win, and they care, and then they see them lose, and they still care. Most of us Dolphins fans, Dolphins lose every year, but every single year we get our hopes back up, and we root for our Dolphins every Sunday, every Thursday, every Monday, every Saturday. Whenever they're playing, we root for them. We cheer them on because that is our team. That is our bread and blood. That is the, bread and butter, sorry. And that is the blood that we bleed comes out, teal, orange, and white. And it's something to see, right? Hell, I have a flag in the back of my videos. It's an American flag, but instead it's with the Dolphins logo on it. And it's pretty damn cool. But, they come into Dolphin fans, and Dolphin fans, oh, they suck. Dolphin fans this, Dolphin fans that. Dolphin fans, what? I mean, look, we don't lose as much as the Browns lose, But when we lose, we still show up to games. When we lose, we're lobbying on Twitter for change. We are lobbying on Facebook, Instagram, anything that you possibly can. We are communicating. We are supporting our beat writers, even if we do not like the beat writers. Even if there are people like Omar Kelly, where Twitter world does not like Omar Kelly, but they will support Omar Kelly. They will support Armando Salguero. They will support Adam Beasley, Joe Shad, Barry Jackson. I mean, the list goes on and on. Bomani Jones, they'll support anybody if they're covering their team. We have a whole group of people on Twitter that follow the Samuraii Radio Network with Matthew Kanata, Joshua Houts, and Sutton. Those people, that little group of trio, have garnered, like, they've had enough following and enough people and enough insight and enough stuff where they've gotten other national media members to address them, but also in the way where they've gotten this nice community of Dolphin fans that want change but are also there to support the team. And yeah, it's a small minority of group in terms of what the big aspect is of Dolphin fans around the world, around the country. But they love the Dolphins. We show up to games even when we're losing. Are there a lot of empty seats? Yes, there's a lot of empty seats. But the real ones, the ones who have loved the Dolphins since the day they were born, or if you live, you know, outside of the United States and this was just a team that you saw when you went to London, or you just see it on TV one time, that's the team that you fell in love with. You've loved it since that point, since you started watching. The other ones, they're there to bitch and moan and complain when it's not winning, and that's it. We will bitch, moan, and complain when they're not winning, but we stick by our team. You get what I mean? And then it comes to the articles in terms of how they feel about Miami sports in general. They just hate every damn sports team in Miami. They just don't like them. The Dolphins were succeeding going to the playoffs, and people still had them as like the 15th best team in the league. Yeah, you know what? Was that team, you know, playoff ready without Ryan Tannehill, whether you want to believe it or not? No, with Matt Moore at the helm, that team was not winning a playoff game. But they weren't the 15th best team in the league. They had teams that went 8-8 or 7-9 over a 10-6 Dolphins team. A 10-6 Dolphins team that had Jay Ajayi going crazy. Jarvis Landry was doing good. Kenny Stills was doing good. Ryan Tannehill had a really nice year, you know, under that system, fitting under Adam Gase. And even then, it was still, oh, who cares about the Dolphins? And it just made no sense to me at that point. You know what I mean? But it shows with every article, with every news line, with everything. There was a draft projection from some stupid idiot, and it's going viral on Twitter right now, kind of like within Dolphin circles, because some Falcon page commented on it and said the AFC East needs to be disbanded. And Dolphin fans are going at that Falcon page. But it said that the Dolphins, Jets, and Bills are going to be in the top 4 pretty much. And that the Jets, look, I don't think Sam Darnold's going to be the next great quarterback in the NFL. But you'd be, you know, you got to be stupid to think the Jets are getting the #1 pick next year. When they have now an actual quarterback behind the helm, you got to be stupid to think he's not going to win at least 1 or 2 games with the Jets. The Bills, the same thing. Yeah, Josh Allen, he's probably going to throw a lot of picks, but you got to be stupid if you think they're only going to be like a 2-win team. Hell, it's the Bills. They'll probably get 6. You never know. And then with the Dolphins, if Ryan Tannehill is healthy, there's no way the Dolphins are finishing in the top 10 in terms of picks. They're not going to be in that top 10 pick if Tannehill is healthy. If he gets down and with an injury, I could see the Dolphins getting the #1 pick in the draft. But without, like with him, there's no way they're in that top 10. But it just makes no sense. The media hates the Dolphins. The media hates the Heat. The media hates the Hurricanes, the Panthers, the Marlins. Name it. They don't like sports in Miami. Plain and simple, honestly. But hope you guys did very much enjoy this video. Make sure you drop down a like below if you did like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 1K subscribers. I will be attempting to stream tonight depending on who I can get on. If not, I might just stream some solo squads and just kind of chill on Fortnite, answer some questions. No guarantee, once again, because I may or may not have to wake up pretty early tomorrow. But yes, I hope you guys did very much enjoy. Make sure you drop a like down below. Make sure you subscribe down below. And as always, peace.